Why hasn't Filipino food exploded?
Everyone told me I couldn't do it from the beginning.
Where does Filipino fit in this conversation? Where do I fit in this conversation? Do you even know what a Filipino represents or what we're about?
And he was an advisor, and he looked at all of us and said, technically, you guys should fail. You should not exist. You're friends, family, relatives, in relationships. You have no money. You're people of color. In the food industry, trying to do Filipino food.
My mother said, do not come home.
My mom was like, you can't do that. I was like, watch me.
If I could do fine dining, I can make a sandwich, so I made a sandwich. The first thing you learn as a Filipino-American kid is to make eggs. And so it just made sense to do egg slut. And next thing you know, like, everyone wanted to talk to me.
It was remarkable, and it wound up being like a 3-hour wait for a table and then a 2-month wait for a reservation after week 3 or 4.
We quit our jobs to work 3 days a week, to make money 3 days a week.
But then for us to be able to fill each night out, that was a success.
Now it's beyond opening a restaurant. It's how do we sustain? Everyone wants and craves success, but once you get success, what do you do next? How do you pay it forward? How do you make it last forever?
I think the timing is ideal. There's a lot of publicity proclaiming this is the next big thing.
I think the impact of Filipino food becoming popular is just almost justifying our culture. In order for us to be accepted and not be considered third world minority, our food has to speak volumes.
Hi. So since I only watched the trailer, and a lot of our audience probably haven't watched the film. So can you tell us a little bit about this documentary?
Absolutely. So it's the first and only Filipino food documentary about Filipino food crossing over in the U.S. And as you know, Filipino food is the hottest cuisine right now. We've heard about it from Anthony Bourdain and Andrew Zimmern and lots of other food personalities. So we're really lucky and excited to be doing this movie.
Yeah, so I look it up, and then it's rated top 5 food documentaries to watch. So I'm like, I had to watch this. So I watched the trailer, and then the whole vibe and atmosphere when I, watched the trailer, I just feel, it's very fun, very heartwarming, and just very happy.
Absolutely.
When I look at you guys, you're just very happy.
Yes.
So can you tell me a little bit more about the filming process? Is it like that, very happy, and then because it's not only about the food, it's about the Filipino culture too. Yes. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So the film process took us 3 years, and it was the most fun I think we've had. Yeah. Yeah, so I think it was the most fun we've had in a really long time. We got to eat every dish.
10 pounds later.
Right. So for us, it was so great, For me, because I was born here, it was a way to really reconnect with my roots and really be proud of my culture. As a young Asian American, and as a director, it was really important for me to do something personal. I really wanted to do something that mattered. And so Filipino food just made sense.
Yeah, it does. And also a question for Ray. I know you are the producer of this film, and you also made film like Motherland and that kind of
Yes.
film. It's very different.
Totally.
The vibe is very different, atmosphere, and also probably working with Alexandra is really different too. So can you tell us a little bit about Alexandra and also making a food documentary?
Yeah, so I've been in the film business now for over 30 years. And I've produced narrative films. Producing Motherland last year that was my first time involved with a documentary film. And it was a good thing. It was a good thing because it totally prepared me to do Ulam with Ali, who happens to be my daughter.
Oh, wow, that's why this film is so happy and so fun.
It's a family business.
It's a family film. Yes, and back to the experience. Because this is her first film, obviously, it's very important. It's very personal to me as a producer. But it also allowed me to see her grow, being her first film, and how she faces up to the challenges over the journey, the 3-year journey. It's every film has their own issues, has their own challenges, and we do with this one. But it was just fascinating for me to watch her, and take direction from her. After all, she's the director. For me to be able to do that was great. It was very, very collaborative. And you were asking what that experience was. I would say this is my best experience ever, collaborating with a director.
And for me, to make my parents proud, it's all I could ever ask for.
So can you tell us a little bit about difficulty, like one or two? One, hopefully only one.
Absolutely. I mean, for us, it was, for a documentary, it's all about the money. So for us, it was fundraising was really difficult. And because our chefs were working chefs, we had to find time while they were having restaurants, So it's not like an actor where you can sort of book somebody for 2 weeks and just shoot. We had to find time in between service or after the restaurants closed or very early before the restaurants opened, to find time when can we interview these chefs and also to follow the movement as it developed. We didn't know at the beginning that Filipino food was going to be so big. We started this 3 years ago before really a lot of people were talking about it, and I think we were just in the right place at the right time.
Now everybody morning goes to Excellent, and
Exactly.
it's so big. And then so I was surprised it's the very first
It's the very first one.
Filipino food documentary.
Yes.
So also I feel just like Ray mentioned, you see her grow through the filmmaking, but also, I think both of you probably, because it's a documentary, you learn a lot through the filming about the culture, about the food, about the people. Did it change the perspective of you, on Filipino culture a little bit, or did it somehow, is there something different, something unexpected you didn't know before?
Well, I think one of the questions we wanted answered in this documentary when we started was 3 years ago. The question was, how come Filipino food has not yet broken through, as opposed to the Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Thai, Vietnamese? All of those Asian foods have already broken through. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, in fact, that's why we were wondering, how come Filipino food hasn't broken through yet? And that was 3 years ago. And through this process, it answered itself. These restaurants that we happen to be following were breaking through in this process. So, and we found out, some of the reasons why. And going back to your question, one of them is probably because Filipinos assimilate very easily in the mainstream, so we don't need to have a strong Filipino town because we assimilate. We're in the suburbs. We're all over, and so and that's why there's no sort of strong bond amongst in the community, and the documentary personally made me realize that we should never forget who we are. As an immigrant, coming here, and she being a first-generation Filipino American, I think for me that's what really struck me is, even though we've all assimilated, we should never forget. We must never forget who we are, our heritage, and that's what this documentary really hit home.
Yeah, and then probably during the interviewing process, you interview a lot of people, a lot of chefs. I saw those faces pop up on the screen. I feel like there is a strong bond. There is still a bond, between among this culture. It assimilates, but still, like it is there. And then so people just have to know. You just have to bring it up, and you guys did.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Yeah, we're really lucky to tell these stories, and we're happy to be some of the first ones to do it.
Yeah. And then when are we able to see it? Can you tell?
Well, great question. We're going to be showing at the LA Asian Pacific Film Festival this Sunday, May 6th at 4 p.m., the Aratani Theater. You can find tickets at ulamthemovie.com / #screenings. Or you can just go to ulamthemovie.com. We're also going to be screening at CamFest in San Francisco. So San Francisco family, please come out. And all that information is on our social media at Ulam the Movie. So please follow us there.
Yeah, follow them.
Thank
you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.